breaking down the different types of speed workouts. Hello there, my friends, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, I'm Dr. Alyssa Olenek. I have a PhD in exercise physiology, and I'm a running, lifting, and hybrid training coach. Today, I want to help you understand the different types of speed workouts that you might see in a running program and understand what they are and what they mean, especially for those of you who might be new to running. Now, if you are new to running, I do have a beginner's runner video that I'm going to link here for you to dive into so you can actually learn how to start, as well as a video breaking down how to get faster if that is your goal. But today, I want to make sure that you understand the different types of speed workouts that you might see or you should be doing or including depending on your goals and your training program. So let's dive in. First is striders. Striders are short, all-out accelerations that you build up in momentum and pace and speed, sustain that across the middle portion, and descend and decelerate back to baseline. They're typically about 20 to 30 seconds in duration, and while technically they are supposed to be distance-based, not time-based, most of you aren't measuring out a specific distance that you're running, so I like to give a time reference for striders instead, because it's easier for you to either program it into your watch or get an idea of you accelerating, holding that pace, and decelerating for about equal thirds of that. So 10 seconds of acceleration, 10 seconds of sustaining that pace, and 10 seconds of deceleration. Striders are a great way to add in a little bit of speed workouts into your workouts in a low stakes way that doesn't require a lot of recovery or physiological demand while sneaking it into your training. They're great for adding them in after easy runs and or as warm-ups for more of the speed workouts that we're gonna dive into here in a second. And we have a formal video on striders if you wanna learn more here as well. The next up is going to be intervals. Intervals are going to be things that you're likely going to do at a track like this, or all-out short maximal running intervals with specific rest in between them. We're talking things like 400-meter repeats, 800-meter repeats, 1 kilometer repeats, or 1 mile repeats. Often you might hear people refer to this as VO2 max work because it's pushing you into your zone 4 or 5 threshold or working at very high hard intensities that are maximal or at high race paces and effort, and then being repeated and sustained over multiple intervals with appropriate rest or easy recovery in between. Typically, we are doing these all-out interval workouts as a way to get faster and drive up our faster running paces, working closer to driving up our VO2 max or above our lactate threshold. So we're pushing ourselves in a way that it's very physiological, stressful, and taxing. You typically will see speed workouts like this when you're trying to get explicitly faster and or training for race-specific paces. So these might look different based off the distance and time goals that you have. Whether you're training for a 5K, 10K, a high rocks race, a half marathon, or marathon, you might have these in your training in some way, but they might look different, or you might do a variety of these speeds and paces depending on the program that you are doing. Typically, speed workouts are really stressful and fatiguing on the body, so most of you watching this are probably not doing more than one of these a week or one of these every so often, depending on the program that you're doing or for a phase or season when you're working on something specific within your training. You might see a lot of these before going into a marathon training season to simply work on driving up your VO2 max, and then different specific speed workouts later in that season. Or if you're someone training for a short, all-out, faster distance race, you might be doing a lot of these in your tune-up block before going into it because you're gonna be trying to drive up getting faster. It really, again, depends on the program that you're doing, but you will see these and they're tried and true classic workouts. The next up are tempo and threshold interval pace workouts. When we're thinking about tempo workouts, we're thinking about things that are going to be in your zone 3 effort. And I know zone 3 gets a bad rap, but it's not the gray zone all doom and gloom. We simply can use zone 3 as a tool for training for specific races or distances, such as the half marathon or marathon, or even ultra marathons, where you're sustaining a moderate effort pace for longer. So thinking about that of intentionally running in your zone 3 for specific periods of time and holding that for maybe a 5, 10, 15, or 20 minute interval at a time, building up to sustaining these moderate effort paces for longer. Maybe you have mile repeats built into a run, things like that, where you're starting to dose in that moderate effort into otherwise easy running, or doing it on its own as its own tempo or interval workout. Similar to tempos, we have threshold workouts. Well, tempo falls in our zone 3 right below our lactate threshold. Threshold workouts are being done right there at the cusp of that threshold. It's right there in between the tempo workouts and those VO2 max hard intervals that you're doing at tempo pace. Tempo pace may sometimes overlap with some of those interval paces, but sometimes can be used specifically on its own for tempo intervals for pushing that threshold or working right at your lactate threshold, while hard intervals are working above it to try to move that VO2 max and work above that threshold. And tempo intervals are working underneath it to work on lactate clearance and maintaining those paces right below it. Threshold intervals are working right at that lactate threshold pace. So it's going to be just hard enough that it's starting to be fatiguing and very difficult to sustain, but easy enough that you can sustain it for sometimes significant period of time. Your threshold pace is about the pace that you can sustain for a 10K or maybe a 60-minute all-out bout of running. Next, we have hill repeats. These are short, all-out maximal efforts on a hill that are going to be short and sweet, maybe 15, 20 to 30 seconds, repeated maybe 5, 6, 7 times, something like that, depending on the program, what you can handle and the capacity that you have. Or long intervals where you are sustaining for 1, maybe 2, 3, or 4 minutes of these long, slow climbing hills to get better at these long builds. Hill repeats can build a lot of power and efficiency and make us stronger, faster runners. And as they like to say, hills pay the bills. But the type of hill you might be doing might depend on your goal, if you're trying to get faster or if you're trying to get better at running hills longer and sustained, especially for my trail running friends, that might be you. And we use a lot of that in our trail running programs to help you get stronger at those uphill climbs. No matter where you're at in your running journey, you likely can do some form of speed workout in a little way once you get past the beginner phase, but the amount, the volume, the frequency, and how many hard workouts you can handle in a week will depend on how much you're actually running, your fitness level, and what your body is trained to. There's so many programs out there that throw you with a hard interval workout a week and a tempo interval and a long run with pickup paces and striders, and sometimes that's all too much. Doing the most of this or more of these or all of this all the time isn't what makes you a better runner. It's using speed workout intentionally and strategically to work on the type of deficits that you have in your training or the goal that you have. No zone or interval or effort is inherently bad on its own. It's all about what you need for where your fitness is at or the goal that you have. A lot of beginner runners who are starting to add in harder efforts, you might not go right to those VO2 max or really hard intervals. You might start with tempo and threshold efforts as you ease in after you build up past striders and then gain confidence and or the ability to run faster and harder there. More advanced athletes might need more of that high effort hard stuff to drive the needle forward on their fitness. And a lot of recreational athletes who fall in that middle there might need more of that tempo zone 3 threshold work to actually get better at running faster, shifting that lactate threshold forward, increasing and widening our zone 2 and becoming better, more efficient and more aerobic runners. So again, it's not that one of these are better than the other. It just depends on you, your fitness, and or the race you're training for and the goals that you have within that. Let me know below what your favorite kind of speed workout is. What's your favorite day? Is it a track day like this? Or do you like tempo or steady state runs? Or do you hate speed workout together? If you hate that, you're probably a trail runner. If you're looking for a training program that does make you a better runner, builds these in for you strategically and efficiently based off your not only your running level, but your goals and the race that you're training for specifically, check us out at the List Method. We have over 30 programs spanning from beginner, intermediate, and advanced, 5K, 10K, half marathon, marathon, and ultra marathon distances, and everything in between that helps you actually get better at running. We strategically program in these types of workouts into all of our running programs depending on what is necessary and or going to maximize someone's adaptations to get them to the race and goal they have without blowing them up if their fitness level isn't quite there yet. So many programs have you doing too much, too fast, too soon, and then you get injured and feel frustrated, and then you don't know why you're not becoming a better runner or you're burnt out all the time, and that's not our approach. Our approach is evidence-based sustainability that actually gets you better at running without blowing you up and leaving you injured and on the sidelines along the way. If you're interested in training with us, I'm gonna link our program quiz here and you can learn more about the programs that we offer, or you can email us at any time at hello@thelistmethod.com. When you reach out to us, one of our coaches will personally help you figure out the right running program for you and your goals, or help you build out a timeline to the race that you have, and help you figure out how to stack our programs to get you there so you can build fitness and gain momentum across time. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next video.